Thokozani ninjani. Please say hi, say hello. Say hello as you come on. Sanbonani. Hotep Royals. Thokozani. Say hi, guys. Yes, tap the screen. Tap it. Keep tapping that screen. Let's get those numbers up. Keep tapping. There's no limit as to how much you can like. That way we go up in the algorithm. How's everyone doing? I'm literally just here for question time. I haven't shown my face in these streets for a long time, except for those who are subscribed, who who catch me on here at odd hours, where I go live, really, and then really so that I can share the broadcast to YouTube. So most times when people come live on subscription, they actually don't get to interact with me. But today, we are here for the interaction. Ziku. I love that name. Ziku. Iziku. That's a powerful name. I assume you must be someone powerful with a name like Iziku. Or not even Iziku. Ninjani. How's everyone doing? Welcome to Bagwantu. Welcome to all Bagwantu from all over the world. This is home. I am strictly here for Bagwantu. So if that doesn't even sound familiar to you, you're in the wrong place. Bagwantu, aka melanated, aka carbon beings, is who I am here for. And carbon beings that know that everything started in the motherland. Ninjani. How are you all doing? I've actually missed doing this, so I'm here for a question time. Please tap, guys. I don't know, there are 15 of you here. If you all tap that screen, tap that screen, that number will go way up. And then you can ask me your questions. I will actually allow for people to request and come on and ask your question, and I will answer it that way. Because Gogo is old, so scrolling through your comments is challenging for me. So yes, I will have that feature. When you feel like you have a question you want to ask, please just request and I'll let you come on. How has everybody been doing with all the universal energetic changes that are taking place in the world? How is everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? We're seeing changes in the weather. We're seeing changes in so many things. Please, I love you too, Ladybug. I love you with all my heart. So, please do request if you want to come on and ask me a question. I will gladly do that. That's what I'm here for. So, who's here? Nwabi Isa, I see. Hey, but South Africans, you don't sleep, my children. You people don't sleep. Nimara, why don't you sleep? Yes, Ubuntu Roots, Togoza. She's like, finally caught a live of you. You know, I don't do these often. As often as I would like to, because as I've said to you guys before, I don't get to choose what I do. There are times where I am forbidden from coming here, particularly if I'm going through a listening phase with some things. Akulalwe edlozini, yeah. Definitely. There's somebody who knows the real. Nobody sleeps in Dlozi Field. Nobody sleeps. The spiritual do not sleep. That is when we do our best work, is when everyone else is sleeping, because that is the time where the veil is thin between us and the spiritual realm. So sometimes you don't sleep because that is when everything spiritually becomes active and you're receiving messages and. So yeah. But gay, Gogo, I'm eldest daughter at home. My mom wants to force Christianity on me. Well, did I see? Oh, you're 18, huh? You said my mom, you're 18. Woo, Nganyam. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one because you are still under your parents' roof, right? You're still living at home with your parents, your mom and dad, whoever is your guardian. It becomes very, very difficult when you are living under such circumstances as a young person, because remember, you are not, yeah, they'll call you adults at 18, but really take it from someone who knows. In so many ways, you're still a child. You are given by the state certain rights, but you know that as Abantu, our parents, until you leave your home, their home rather, to set up your own place, you will forever be a child. So I understand the challenge. And I understand the fact that, yeah, if you're in your parents' home and they want to force things down your throat, it can be very difficult, particularly when you yourself know whatever it is you know. You know, I'm not going to say believe, but what you know. So, hey, Nana, I don't even know how to help you. I think the thing that I would say to you is don't fight your parents, because even in the ancestral, family is very important. Don't fight your parents, but I think you can respectfully say, I'm not going to that place. I'm not going to church. I'm not going to have my mind twisted further. I'm in the process of trying to untwist my mind. How do I voluntarily put myself? You can do it very respectfully, you know. It's a hard one. I know it's really hard. Guys, tap. Don't get tired of tapping the screen. So I don't know what to tell you, because at the same time I don't want to be that gogo who's telling people that, yeah, stand in defiance, because we have to exercise wisdom. Put it this way, though. Your ancestors are proud of you. Your ancestors, yay, basiqhenya ngawe, basishaya isifuba ngawe for getting away from that toxic space. You know, phahla them. Remember that if you are in a place where you can't light candles, you can't have a smolinyana umsamo of yourself, you know what? Go to the forest. Go find somewhere, even a park. Go find a tree in a park somewhere, right? Take a little sniff. Always make sure you've got your little phahla things. I'm sorry, if there are parents here who are Christian, I'm teaching your children to go and do things behind your back because you're not supportive of them. And if you're not supportive, you should be ashamed of yourself. So here's what you're going to do from Gogo, ne? Mamel. Get your little sniff. Get yourself, if you can't get in paper because it usually comes in bulk, get yourself some palo sticks or something like this. You see how small linyana, and because you need your smoke signal. Get yourself a bottle of water, just a regular bottle of water like this, right? Get your candle. Don't mind if the candle blows out, they understand, but get yourself a white candle. Get a little bag. Oh, see, I've got a, see, it's like I knew I would be meeting you guys with this question, because see, a little bag like this. This is where you have your snuff, you have your candle, you have your palo stick, and then this is your phahla kit, right? And then when you're going, you know, hey, look, they're not, at 18, you're allowed to go around, right? You just grab a bottle of water or buy a bottle of water wherever it is you are. Go somewhere in a park. Look, people won't bother you when you're doing your things. Find a nice tree. I like trees. If you find the one tree, as you're walking, just listen to yourself. they'll direct you to a tree that might be more suitable than others. Don't just go any money, money, more and pick a tree. Listen as you're going, and as you're going, you're talking inside to them. Bokoko nabomkhulu, I want to commune with you. I'm your child. I am doing this behind my parents' back because, as you know, they don't want me communicating with you. They want me going against my own soul, going against what I know to be the right thing. I'm coming to you. Please show me exactly where it is you want me to set up so we can talk. You will find a nice tree. I would suggest that maybe you take maybe a 1 rand coin, any silver coin, because when you get to that place, you're going to drop your coin and then you're going to just say quietly, you don't have to kneel, you just stand by whatever tree you find and you just say, I ask for the owners of this space, I ask for the energies and spirits of this space to allow me to commune here with my ancestors. Ngicela abanikazi bele ndawo, ngikhunga nale mali, you throw your coin down. I want to commune, ningivumele ukuthi ngikhulume nabakithi. Right? You're asking. Then, once you've done that, you say also, I banish all negative energies, all negative entities. I banish all spirits that are not of my lineage, all spirits that are not part of my spiritual entourage. Then, now, you can either kneel or you can sit. If you don't want people to see what you're doing, sit. Sit by your tree, nje. Here's the key though, you want to face north. Okay, people have been making this mistake and it's ignorance that you face east because that is where the sun rises. You face north, and there's a spiritual reason why we face north when we communicate with our ancestors, right? The north facing is because the north in the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, the north is the cardinal point that is associated with the etheric realm, meaning Izwe Lamatongo. This is where the ancestors and the spirit guides sit. So you want to face that side because now you're going to address them in the ethereal realm. Ezwe Lamatongo, right? So there you are. You sit facing north. Your tree might be beside you by that time, your tree, wherever it is. Why do I want the tree? The tree is a sentient being, right? Trees are sentient beings. In Native American culture, when you go into a forest, you understand that the trees are your ancestors, in the sense that we are all one thing in the spiritual space. Your soul is no different from the energy that enervates a tree, that enervates a bush, that enervates a fish or a lion or a river. So when you go by that tree, and then you can make that your regular phahla time. Maybe you go there once every 2 weeks to commune away from home. Now you're sitting, you take out your candle, you can stick it in the ground if it sticks. If you don't, get a little candle holder, something you can fit in here. So you can put your candle, you light your candle, you light your palo stick like this. Oh, see, Gogo was ready. I didn't even know you guys were coming with the question, but it's got everything that you need right here. I'm teaching you how to phahla in secret. I would say phahla in sacredness, right? You light your palo stick. Once you blow it out, it releases a lot of smoke. You're going to put this around yourself. You're going to put it around. And in this time, what are you saying? You're saying, I remove all negative energies, all negative entities. I am here to commune with my ancestors of the light. Ngizela uzokhuluma nogogo nomkhulu abasekukhanyeni. Yonke imimoya emibi mayisuke la. Anifuneki nina la. You have to speak with authority because remember, you are creator. You are creator. These spirits will flee as you do that. Next, you take out your sniff. Thokozani bogogo nabomkhulu. You're now communing with your ancestors and you're telling them, my name is so-and-so. You say what your name is, right? You're saying your name. your first name and your surname. Now remember the surname issue. If you come from Kalga Gogo, these are the people you're going to be talking to if your things are not sorted out with your paternal side. You say your names and you say Ngizalwa no, I am born from. You say your father, you say your mother, right? Then these are the two most important Gogos. If you were in good terms with Gogo from your mother's side, Gogo from your father's side. If any one of these two Gogos, remember, Gogo are the ones, abavula isango, they open the gateway for you. These two matriarchs are very powerful when you do your phahla. If you weren't on good terms in any of them, forget about them. So what you're going to say is, Ngibiza okhokokazi, meaning I'm calling on the female ancestors in my lineage. This is also for my diasporans who listening carefully. Many of them are like, oh, we're not connected with our ancestors in Africa, so how do we? It doesn't matter. They know who you are. So you call on Kokogazi, the great grandmothers who are of the light, right? You call on them to come and open the space for you. Then you speak. Tell your ancestors whatever it is you want. Ask for whatever it is you want. Tell them all your problems. Remember, you are having a conversation with your ancestors. It's very important to keep that in mind. This is a conversation. When you are done, you take your water. You pour some water on the ground. I am giving you some water. And you pour the water down for them. When you're done, the little bit that's left, you also drink, right? You're here to share a drink. You're here to commune. Then you can put your water away or finish it all onto the ground. You're done. Your palo sticks go out very quickly. See, it's gone out already, right? So you put your stuff back away. Now, here's what I would like you to do. If you have music, take some music with you. If you have, whatever it is, a book you want to read, take it. Stay in that place because you've called them. You don't just call and then talk, and then march away. No, they're there. Sit with them. Sit with them. Read or just be still and observe what's going on around you. You would be surprised. They are so responsive these days. Don't be surprised if a bee comes buzzing. It's winter in the southern hemisphere. A lone bee out of nowhere in winter might just buzz around you, might land. When it does happen, remember, they use nature because they are now spirit. They can use anything to come and show you that they are present with you, right? You might see, I don't know, you might see a grasshopper just hopping. It might come and hop on you. It might just hop by. You might see a peculiar bird that just comes and perches and looks at you. Like it's not scared of you. Thokozisa. Ukuthokozisa is to acknowledge that I see you. Siyabonga. That's how I normally do it because for me it's always magical when they show up, right? So I hope I have assisted you in a nice, sacred way of uphahla, right? Okay. Anyone else with any questions? Oh, there are lots of... Who else wants to... Tell me, like, if you want to be a guest, you can request, like I said, guys. Oh, I'm glad, sweetheart. And you know, sweetheart, yes, I'm glad I've answered your question. Be you of courage. You will eventually leave home one day and be able to set up your own place. Maybe go to college or wherever it is you go, and then you are free. But even now, you can create your own freedom within the confines of parental what. Because these days... we are in this time where the more aligned you are with your purpose, the more aligned you are with your ancestors, the easier things are going to be for you because we have entered a period of great purging and lots of challenges. And this is one of the things that connecting with your ancestors assists you. Many people are finding that there's nothing for them in religion anymore because really it's obsolete. Religion was for the Piscean age, that age of destruction, the age of Set Umbhidlizi, that is over. And so most of us who are outside of it are literally just watching it crumble. Spiritually, it's already done. Spiritually, it's done away with, it's finished. It's now going to start manifesting. And so the more aligned you are with your ancestors, leads you to alignment with your purpose here on earth. You will find that the days of turmoil that are coming, you will be able to weather those days much, much easier than other people around you, because now other people will be saying, what is happening? This God we are calling on is not, why is God allowing all these things to happen? Meanwhile, that God never existed and never cared for the likes of you. Ne? All right, how do I patla when living abroad? Same thing that I've just said, Gogo, if you heard me talking about upatla. Yeah, patla, I'm abroad and I patla all the time. You know, so the same basic principles that I've given is what you would do if you are abroad. By the way, guys, please gift, please assist in any way you can. There is a book that is to come out, which is a book about spirituality and ancestral practices. It is going to be a very practical guide in how to commune with your ancestors. It's going to be a practical guide in how to live on this planet as a spirit having a human experience, because this is where the disconnection is. Many of us are living the other way around, where we are human having a spiritual experience. You are a spirit having a human experience. And when you get that equation right, you will start to see how your life shifts, because you realize then that I'm spirit first. Therefore, my being here means I cannot be 200% invested in material things. This is where a lot of people are getting it wrong with their spirituality. This is why I don't like spiritualists or sangomas who say, oh, let's do XYZ, go and twasa and everything, you become rich. Like, what kind of criteria are you, like, what are you teaching people? Because many people go epetweni in the hopes that they will become rich. They come out of that space and it's like, nothing. Do you know why that is? Because you went in there, you didn't find yourself, you didn't align with your higher self, you didn't fix that thing. You are still twisted where you are human, or you are human having a spiritual experience, whereas you're supposed to, by the time you come out, know that you are spirit, you are an offshoot of Creator, who chose to incarnate into this body to have a human experience. When you change that around, it helps your life so much, because anything that you go through in the physical, you don't go, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. Your spirit understands, your soul understands that, no man, I came here to have a human experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything around that. Does that make sense? Sharp. I cannot wait for the book. Yeah, you guys must help me. Go and subscribe on YouTube, because on YouTube subscription is free. If you want to gift there, you can, but really you don't have to. Just you guys subscribing, watching the videos, commenting, not skipping the ads. That assists a whole lot. I promise the YouTube family over there that when we get to 10K, right now I think we're at 7 point something K. When we get to 10K, I'm going to start going live over there. So please go and subscribe, guys. If you are here and you have not subscribed to YouTube, please go and subscribe to YouTube. I'm asking, even if you just subscribe and then you don't bother to go there, but then you miss out on a lot. If you notice, I don't teach in great extent here anymore, because I find that YouTube is a better medium for me to teach on, and YouTube allows for a bigger community that is more close-knit. Like, of the 7,000 people on my YouTube channel, like, we've become so close. That's why I want to start doing lives. And the reason I'm going to be doing lives on YouTube is they'll be very different from anything I do here, because I'm going to be telling my story. And I know that there are a lot of people who are curious about my story. So I'll start doing story times over there, and over time just sharing with you guys my story vis-a-vis spirituality, so that you understand that this is a journey. At my age, I've been there. So I want to impart that experience and to encourage you guys as well. So I'm going to start doing that when I get to the other side. So any other questions? Siyabonga Mvelasi, siyabonga Thembu, siyabonga. Omvelasi ngabakwaDube, nami ngingawakwaDube, iDube elimthende. So I know ukuthi Omvelasi I branch from that. As I know my things. I've been watching and learning. Togoza Tebogo, Togoza. Any other questions, guys? Because if you don't ask, I'll leave. Oh, here's a question. Gogo, how do I know if I'm on the right path and all happenings are in alignment and with my highest self? This is from Amo. This is very simple. When everything in your life is harmonious, now I don't mean when everything in your life is easy, because that is unrealistic to expect the human experience to be just one-sided, right? We said we are spirit having a human experience, and so we'll go through the gamut of all sorts of experiences. You know that you are aligned when, are you doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing? Are you getting the answers to questions that you might have? Do you wake up in the morning and feel like, yeah, I'm in alignment no matter what is going on? A lot of people tend to misunderstand the spiritual experience as meaning that you don't go through challenges. The spiritual experience means you go through challenges just like everybody else. However, your perspective on your challenges is very different. Remember, you don't stay stuck in the human. You are able to see spiritually why it is as a soul you are having to go through certain things, no matter what they are. You might be having challenges with family. You might be having challenges with your children. You might be having challenges with a spouse or your sisters. You might be having challenges at work. When you understand that you are a spirit having a human experience, the question you always should be asking yourself as a spirit is, what does this all mean? Always seek spiritual answers to manifestations of problems in the physical. If you look at your problems in the physical squarely from the physical, you're going to get very depressed, because really there are no answers. And any answers you get are answers that are material answers that don't have anything to do with the spirit realm from which all things emanate, including ubutagati, hexes, witchcraft. Something has gone on in the spiritual space for this to happen. And a lot of people will say, but I talk to my ancestors, I'm this, I'm a spiritual child. Why are people throwing hexes at me? Well, you're an easy target as a spiritual child to throw hexes at you, because if you are going to be working for the light, and if you are going to be one of the people raising the collective vibrational frequency, you are an enemy to the state. You are an enemy to the dark side that wants to keep everybody trapped in this 3D and everybody in pain. Just look at the state of the world, right? So your job as an awakened spirit being is to always be cognizant that, yes, I'm awakened, but this is not just about me. Sometimes you're waging a universal spiritual battle, but it manifests in your physical space, and you start to go, why me? Why me? It's like, no, baby, not why you. Say, yes, me. I'm strong enough. I'm equal to the task, and I'm fighting for the collective consciousness. This is something a lot of people miss, because we have lost, I'm going to say it again, Ubuntu, which is that unifying force that is around all of us. You are not an individual. Your well-being, my well-being, everybody's well-being is all interconnected. So sometimes the things that are happening to you manifest as though you're going through it. Why me? My life is hard. Why? No. You are tapping in to the hardships of someone else, maybe on another continent even, or another group of people somewhere. Because why? You are connected. So if you don't seek spiritual answers to the why that is going on so that you understand what is going on in the physical, you're going to be depressed. Many of us are waging spiritual battles for people we know nothing about. Many of us are waging spiritual battles for the collective. You feel the weight of that thing. Wake up one morning and all you want to do is scream and cry like somebody has been unalived. If you are a spirit and you tap into that, you realize that no, man, this is a collective cry. I have collective grief. I'm grieving for the collective, right? I'm hurting for the collective because in my own circle or in my own home, nothing will be wrong. Nothing, absolutely nothing. But you wake up one morning and this is where now you tap into that collective consciousness and you send out. You don't need to know where you're sending it to. The fact that you felt it is enough. That's where you send out that positive healing energy. That's where you send out that uplifting energy. That's where you work hard to get yourself vibrating high so that you uplift the collective. Ne? Does that make sense? Gogo, I've been blessed materially since I've been partnering and accepted. Getting rich fast thing is a scam. Yeah, it's a scam. And even more so, sometimes you may partner and nothing happens. If you are looking for a transactional relationship with your ancestors want a transformational relationship. Call and response. Call and response. Now, if you are going into this with, I want, sometimes they're like, I boss, like all the, like, you know what I mean? Like, remember, they are highly intelligent beings who know your intentions and your motives before you even open your mouth. Can't fool them. You can't fool umoya. You cannot fool spirit. Way more intelligent than you. Why? Because you are still trapped. Your spirit is trapped in this physical body, which puts limitations on your ability to have that high level wisdom, except if you put yourself through spiritual exercises like fasting, put yourself spiritual exercises like cleansing, right? Cleansing meaning like purging, right? Steaming. Always, if you do that, then you can't reach the level of your ancestors. You're still here, trapped in this body. However, your connection is easier. And for many people, when that connection is easier, they're able to feel them more. They're able to see certain things. And that's why I said what you're seeking when you start to partner is not to fix your problems. What you're seeking, and you need to fix that up here. You're seeking a relationship with your elders. You're seeking a relationship with your ancestors, many of whom have for centuries not had one single person in the entire lineage say a word to them or even remember them. Ne? So it's upon establishing that relationship that you can then now ask for things. And I'm telling you, who says this? Baby girl says, they respond like this. They start responding, like they respond so quickly, like in real time. You pasha in the morning, by evening, there's an answer for you for something that you've asked. Yeah, it gets that magical. It's powerful. But that's because you've now established this relationship, Nabo Gogo. And when you have that relationship, it's not even a matter of you always have to formally pasha. You can have a conversation with them. The same way you have a conversation with yourself, right? Most of us, we know that when you are talking to yourself, you can talk to yourself without actually saying words. You can talk to your ancestors pretty much the same way. But I was saying to pasha formally is like a formal introduction, a formal saying, hey, I'm here. Hello. And then they're like, okay, you connect. After that, during the week, whatever you're doing, you can talk to them as you wake up in the morning. Just sit, and you ask, please protect me throughout the day, please give me opportunity, whatever it is you want. But then have like once every 2 weeks, just a day where you go and make it nice time. You know, I know in winter it might be a bit hard in the southern hemisphere, but over here we are in what? We are in spring. It's beautiful out there for the most part. Everything is waking up and is green. Go and take advantage of that, and go and be one with nature, and go and commune as often as is possible. Okay? So yeah, great. Get rich. Don't go for that. This is nonsense. And besides, it's all an illusion, really. Any money that comes to you like that, all those people who are doing igubunanan, it's an illusion of wealth. It's not real wealth, because easy come, easy go. And the minute you stop doing the things you're supposed to be doing, which you're supposed to be doing for eternity, everything disappears like it never was there. Right? Gogo, how? Okay, so I've answered that question. Let's see. I was told that I have to twasa because both my parents ran away from their calling. That's Abuti Bongs. Could be. So now you see, the thing about it is, even if your parents had twasad, if you were the one chosen to be next in line, you would still have to. Right? So he's talking about initiation, that his parents ran away from initiation. They refused to accept their calling. So now it falls on him. You know, let's be realistic. Sometimes it may skip a generation, could have skipped you and then maybe come to your kids. But you are born with a gift. You are born a sangoma. Please don't let people mislead you into thinking that this is something that then happens to you after you're born. You are born that thing. And if you've been told that and you haven't seen any signs in your own dreams, in your own space, in your body that says things that make you think what's going on with me is spiritual, then don't buy into what people tell you, because people tell you a whole bunch of things. Many of us who are initiated knew from the time we were 3-4 years old that there was something different from us. If you have a memory that goes back far, look into your childhood. There will be things and signs that showed that you were gifted that particular way. So a sangoma is not created. A sangoma is born. Meaning to say, when you go to initiation school, it is literally to assist in aligning you with your gift that you were born with. So ain't nobody come tell you that you need to go in twasa if you yourself have not seen signs that you need to twasa. All right? Always. That's why this talking to your ancestors is critical, so that you're not going to be fooled by anyone. They will show you very clearly if they want you to twasa. Or just because you've dreamt of water and beads and so on doesn't mean they're saying go and twasa. Just follow their lead. Don't try to run ahead of them and say, okay, I dreamt that I had this particular cloth, therefore it means Get the cloth, cleanse it, pasha it, put it aside, tell them you got it for them. It's a process. So you can't go from someone telling you must go in twasa to you getting up, packing your bags. How do you know where to go? So now you're in real trouble, because now you're going to do ini, mini, mani, mo. Oh, I like Gogo Nkanyezi. Got Gogo Nkanyezi? No. Your people weren't even there. Remember that your spiritual journey is also about growth. It could be true that you need to go to initiation school, but it doesn't mean you need to go today or yesterday. Sit, wait, keep a dream journal. Do all the spiritual exercises that I'm telling you about. Make sure you stay connected with your ancestors. Make sure you stay cleansed. People underestimate the power of cleansing. The number of people who come to me and say, I'm not dreaming, I don't see anything. I just say, get cleansed. I make them buy a steamer. I get them the herbs out. I get them the stuff to cleanse their space, and boom, everything starts moving the way it should, right? So please don't be in a hurry once somebody tells you that you need to go and twasa. And that is even the wrong thing for someone to tell you. Someone's actually just supposed to say, are you aware that you're spiritually gifted? Right? Yes, you are. Okay. And then under that umbrella is the whole twasa thing. But that's just a tiny bit of what spiritual gifting actually means. And so not everybody who's going through a spiritual awakening needs to go and twasa. The awakening is happening to a lot of people and has nothing to do with them going to initiation school at all. It literally just has to do with them awakening to who they are. The third eye has popped open. They are more easily able to connect with the other realm. Doesn't mean you have to go and initiate into a particular practice. Remember, I'm going to say it again, you are a spirit having a human experience. And so your awakening allows you as a person to access the spiritual realm. This is where your guidance sits for everyday life. This spiritual walk is not just for the initiates or those who are ancestrally gifted. This is for Bagwantu. We are spirits. See? We are spirits. That's it. Period. End of story. We are spirits. Okay, so I've answered that. So I cannot wait for the book is. Let's see what else. Thank you for the gifts, guys. I really appreciate them. I really just don't get. Oh, I don't understand. That was a comment for someone else. What can I do? I'm not sure if you already covered. I joined late. You know what? This video is going to go up on YouTube. And so please go to YouTube, comment, like, subscribe, all the good things. I'm trying to grow that channel because that is where the money for publishing the book is going to come from. So if you guys go and support en masse at YouTube, we will reach the funding that we require to publish the book that everybody's been waiting for. Or what can one do if you did not have a relationship with your paternal fam at all? If the case is that your paternal family did not do right by your mom, meaning they didn't hlawula or pay damages, and they didn't lobola you, meaning they didn't do the necessary rituals to welcome you into the paternal kraal, then you belong fully 100% to your maternal. So you patla your maternal side, and you can patla your paternal in the sense that you don't name them. It's a very sad situation. That's why I always say to people, if Bagwantu understood what it is to have children out of marriage, and I'm not going to say wedlock because that's a Western thing, but outside of traditional union, if they understood what this does to their children, they wouldn't. Because now you have a war of ancestors over your head a lot of the times, because your maternal ancestors are like, your child did not do right by our child, so back off. And they do back off because they know they have no spiritual or even physical rights over you. And now imagine that you are composed in your DNA, let's just say for argument's sake, 50% mother, 50% father, right? It takes two to come together to produce you. But now as a human, having a spirit, having a human experience, you are joined, your physicality is joined from these two. You know, you're now having to function on 50%, which is just your mother's side and not your father's side. So you need to find out if you can. And if they haven't accepted you, don't stress it. I'm seeing a lot of people who are actually causing a lot of stagnation in their own lives because they feel that the paternal side never accepted them. And this leads into a tailspin of depression, feeling inadequate, feeling unwanted. Their loss. Their loss is none of your business. Just always keep in the back of your mind that your ancestors on your paternal side are with you always and they're watching. They may not have any rights over you, and it becomes a problem when you need to twasa, because you cannot twasa without that alignment ritual that quells or quenches this war of ancestors over your head. Once that has been taken care of, now you can proceed with your journey. There are people who do the alignment ritual simply because their life is stuck. And we find that after divination, it's because of this warring. Remember, when two elephants fight, it's the grass who suffers. The two elephants are your ancestors' mother's side, ancestors' father's side. You are the grass. So we have to find a way of aligning these, almost like a spiritual union that should have happened at marriage had there been a marriage. Because a traditional marriage is a union of ancestors first. There are rituals about that. Because we understand everything is spiritual. So it's a union of ancestors. These ancestors must be in harmony so that you two in the physical can unite. And then the children that come from that have access to both legacies, mother's side and father's side, right? So this is part of the problem we're seeing also, because we have a lot of Christian marriages, which in the ancestral realm are null and void. It literally, it's not funny, but the reason I laugh is because I've had several consultations with people where I've told them, like, are you married? And they're like, yes, Gogo, we did white wedding. You say, how long since white wedding? And they'll say, well, 15 years, but things are just now suddenly things. I'm like, you've had your time. They're going to end this thing because nyakipita, meaning fat and set, meaning you literally have been living with one another without that union, and you've had kids without that ancestral union. It's a problem. A lot of Christian marriages are going to be falling apart because of that. They don't recognize, in fact, that whole white wedding thing is an insult to them, because how much money is spent on white wedding, guys? How much money is spent on a white wedding? And your ancestors have nothing to do with it. They're not even told of it. And they're just watching and going, And you are and officiating that is somebody they don't even know. Marriage, funerals, birthrights are supposed to be attended to by members of the family, not outsiders. So Yomfundisi who's marrying you, Yomfundisi who's burying you, they're just like, who is this? Who dares to do things that, it's an insult. There's so many things which we're doing wrong as Bagwantu that are offending our ancestors. And then we wonder why. Number one, look at divorce rates among Bagwantu. Look at the rates of domestic violence, some of which is irrational among Bagwantu. Look at how people are in and out of marriages, leaving kids and walking away like they never had them. Ever stop to wonder why we are in such a mess? Yes, there's colonialism but we're here to decolonize, right? Part of decolonization is vomiting that toxin in those religions and starting to look and research our old ways. What were our ancestors doing before these creatures arrived? Because that's where the answers are. Right? A lot of things that happen in the name of Isintu are nonsense, like Lobola and the 11 cows. That came with that white guy, what's his name, Shepstein. He's the one who set the number of cows for Lobola and made it a commoditization. Prior to colonization, nothing was allowed to hinder the union of two families in love, represented by these two people who had chosen to be together. And so it wasn't about the money or the number of cows. It was about the gesture. It was about the gesture to say, we're coming. We see a flower in your garden. We were wondering if you will allow us to please take this flower home with us. And we are grateful. You know what it is? It's the same way that when you go to a body of water or forest, I say, niyakhunga abanikazi bendawo, meaning you put a little something, a little offering for the owners of that space, the spiritual owners of that space, that you can use it. This is literally what you're doing when you pay lobola. You are showing gratitude that this family created this Ndlovukazi. And really, lobola was never about commoditization of women. It was about showing appreciation, because our ancestors understood that when you got a woman, you got God. This was who was going to carry your lineage forward. This was who was going to birth the children that would carry your lineage forward. She was revered. And so no amount of money or cows could ever meet that. So you weren't expected to pay huge amounts or have 1 billion cows. You were expected to just show a token. And then the reverse was that when you took her to your home, you took care and made sure she was respected, she was happy, she was settled, because you understood what you had just been gifted. You were gifted, literally. We've lost all that, right? So it's a problem when it comes to that. I know I've gone all the way around in answering a very simple question, but you know, that's why I love question time, because then I just teach and teach and teach and teach. So Oza, what can one do if you do not have... Okay, that's the one I answered, right? In such a long way. Ngwazania or Zaria Zulu. Where ma Zulu? I hope I answered you. Gogo, I'm a student and I want to partner, and we're not allowed to burn impepo in our res. I'm sure you were saying in our res. Y'all gonna have to go to YouTube, because I literally gave somebody tips on how to partner sacredly. Oh, so you're gonna need to go and watch the video to get that. I'm not going to repeat it in the interest of time. What else? I'm trying to see. Any more questions, guys? We are held in high regard. I assume you're talking about Ndlovukazi. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, we are held in high regard in Ndlovukazi. Universal spirits. Gogo, do you sell umuti? I'm in US. Yebo, I got the chemist. I got all the herbs. Umbanilo. It's baby girl. Yes, just there's a pinned video here. In fact, you know what? You can literally click my link. There's a link that will take you to the website. That is where everything is. And if you have any questions, there's a number, my WhatsApp number that is here. Then you can message me. But go to the website, see what there is, and then you can come back and talk to me if you have any questions, so that I can explain some things. Ne? Okay, I will then just send you back to the website so you can make your purchase. But at least if you want some explanation of something. I just see universal spirits. I mean, Gogo, can you please touch more on the topic of universal spirits? Oh, my favorite. Okay, I love that question. Thank you very much. The universal spirits. We are talking about Asa, Aset. We are talking about Heteru and Heru. We are talking about Sekhmet. We are talking about all those, right? I'm not going to elaborate on them. Now, in order to understand universal spirits first, you have to understand the African calendar, because we have 12 seasons governed by these universal spirits. And each of these seasons, you are born in one of those particular seasons, which means you are governed by a particular universal spirit, meaning that the time the time that you came into the world, I don't like the word birthday, because a birthday connotes that you went around until you came into the world. No, call it your earth day, meaning the day you exited the portal into the physical realm. So every single person is governed by one of these universal spirits because you're born under one of these energies. These universal spirits are based on what? It's a science. These universal spirits are energies or principles, as we call them, that are what created this entire universe, right? They are what created life on earth. Now, if you look at what we call the chemetic tree of life, then you get to see who started. We start with the sun, Ra, right? And then from Ra, we get, I think it's Shu and Tefnut, which are water and air. And then from there, we get Nut and Geb, which is Isbagabaga, or the night sky, and Geb meaning the earth. Then from Nut and Geb, this is where now Asa and Auset are born, who we call Umvelingangi noNomkhubulwane. Remember, we are talking about energies. We're talking about electromagnetic frequencies. From these, more are born. When I post this video on YouTube, I'm going to put the picture so that you can see the kinetic tree of life. So now, these energies or principles are what has created everything on earth. Meaning to say, you have every single one of these energies and principles within you. Like I always say, ma'at within you. But there is a dominant one, meaning to say there is one whose energy was dominant at the time which you were born, which is the season or the month in which you were born. Our month on the African calendar starts on the 23rd of that Gregorian nonsense to the 22nd of the next Gregorian. Then the next season starts 23rd and so on and so forth. So it's hard for me to describe without a calendar here and without you having one in your hand to look at. But if you did, you would see exactly what I mean by that. So we all have a dominant energy. I am Sekhmet. It's so fascinating because whatever characteristics our ancestors saw happening in nature during that particular season, those are the characteristics you will embody. So Mina, I'm Sekhmet. Sekhmet is May, when is Sekhmet? I think Sekhmet is May 23rd, going to June the 22nd. So I fall into the season of Sekhmet. Sekhmet is a healer. Sekhmet is the one they call Oshisa Insalela Zobubi, meaning Sekhmet destroys all things that are negative. Sekhmet is a warrior. Sekhmet is unafraid. Sekhmet is courageous. So I embody the energy of Sekhmet. I've always been like this. It's not that I learned I'm Sekhmet and then decided, okay, so I'm going to embody these. I've always been like this. And the way my life has gone, and this I will share again in a story time one day, is I have always been interested in the healing practices. At some point, I wanted to study medicine. I started down that route. Something said, nah, that's not it. Then I did public health. But look where I ended up, where I was supposed to be in the first place as an indigenous initiated healer. So I've always known and I've always gravitated to the healing without even knowing that the reason I'm gravitating to those is not because I just love the healing, but that is who I am. I am a healer in and out. And my way of healing is even fascinating in the sense that I can heal with almost every healing modality that's out there. I can heal with hands. I do energy healing, right? I can heal by sending energy remotely. I heal Ndumbeni by mixing the herbs and the this and the that, right? I heal using crystals. Why? Because I am that thing. I am just that thing. I have been in the presence of people who just from a hug will be like, or somebody meets me and they start crying and they're like, I don't know why I'm crying. I'm like, let it out. Get it out. Get it out. Because I now understand that I heal wherever I go. I bring healing because I am that thing. I didn't learn it. I had to perfect, or if you like, to hone certain skills, but I didn't learn it. I was born this way, right? So many of you, so if you are Ma'at, right? Ma'at is justice, truth. Those are the laws of Ma'at. Ma'at is about justice, is about truth. And so you find that somebody who's Ma'at, I have one of my spiritual children is Ma'at. When she comes over, you know all she wants to do? She wants to manage my things. She wants to organize my things because she likes balance and harmony and order. You see? Her job is literally as somebody who's doing sort of managerial at a high organizational level, but she manages funds, she distributes funds, she makes sure the books are balanced. You can't make this stuff up, guys. That is who she is. She's someone I went to school with. So we've known each other since we were 11. She's always been like this. If you visited her and you opened her drawer, like her sock drawer, hey, bo, her socks are folded. Hey, everything had to be meticulous. I'm not that at all. So what I'm saying to you is you embody the characteristic of the principle under which you were born. That is universal principles. Now, yimimoya. They are what we call the neter. The neteru. The word nature comes from neter. Neter is Medu nature, which is our classic Kemetic African language. So then these people came and they said nature. So when we say the neter, we're talking about nature. That's why you need the natural elements, or the elements that create nature, the ones that we see, like fire, like you're not, what is this? Guys in? What is this thing? Guys, can you hear me? Something's going on with this live that is saying the live is going to end. It's saying, no, man, I'm here. Okay. Hi, guys. I'm back. Hello. Can you hear me? Please tap, tap, tap so I can see if you guys can hear me. Tap, 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 tap. Because I got interrupted there by some weird thing. Tap, 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 tap. There we go. My babies are here. Okay. So what was I talking about? I was talking about why it is we commune in nature with our ancestors, who are called the Neteru, right? Neteru, meaning the etheric spiritual beings. That is why we say universal spirits. Literally, when you close your eyes, you have to imagine that these are the spirits that created everything that you see with your naked eye. Everything. Stones, rivers, lakes, plants. These are the Neteru that animate everything that is life out there. When you understand that, you have understood the universal principles. That's the first step. Then you need to understand who you are in that grand scheme. Who governs you? Who are you? I say I am Sekhmet because I really am Sekhmet. Lo oshisa insalela zobubi. And Sekhmet season in the southern hemisphere falls in June, which is the month where everything is dry, dry, dry. Sekhmet is a purifier. It's a purifying energy. Purifying for what? Purifying all the debris and the stuff that was accumulated in the summer. You know, after the harvest, you have all the chaff and stuff. This is usually, if people are lying, the month where you burn that old grass so that come spring, new grass can sprout. That was the genius of our ancestors, that they understood everything that was going on around them and used this to understand. I've talked about the season of Anpu. Anpu is the jackal, right? The animal of Anpu, say, is the jackal. But the season of Anpu, Umqapikazi, is he who stands at the gateway of that ancestral realm. Why? What does it mean? It means that during the season of Anpu, that ancestral realm is open, and it is the best time to really commune with your ancestors. This is the time to ukubavuselela, because that gateway is open. This is when your partnering is more effective. You don't partner at all other times, but literally this gateway is open. This is the time for you who have Christian ancestors who come and bother people like me to say, oh, because they are shut out. They are looking for someone to do the rituals that will allow them to enter through that gate. If you are one of those and you are a spiritual person, do the work to elevate these people. They bother us. Bishops. You see a bishop with the thing coming and saying, oh, it's cold where it is. I'm naked. Because you are shut out of the ancestral realm. You get there and your ancestors are like, and what do you think you were doing? You traitor. You are a traitor. We were forced to do this thing. You had the option not to. You were free not to. And you voluntarily chose to go in there, keeping us trapped. So now you're here. Who's going to do the things for you? Because what you've left behind is a bunch of Christians who don't know anything. So guess what? This poor bishop will sit for however long until maybe centuries later, someone in his lineage, some kid who's woke will say, you know what, I'm going to assist my ancestors to cross over. So it's that deep. So I hope I've answered the universal spirits questions. To learn more about Kemetic deities, and I call them Kemetic because, and please guys, Kemet is not a place. Kemet is us. Northern Kemet was where everything was concentrated in terms of knowledge and in terms of skill. But Kemet is the whole of the continent of Africa, and I hate that word. That's why I refer to the continent as Kemet. Northern Kemet, Southern Kemet, Eastern Kemet, Western Kemet. Kemu means black. Kemenu are the Kemetic people. Tina, the 9 ether beings, the carbonated beings. I'll do a separate teaching on that for you guys, where I go technical on it. Ne? So, what else? Yes, Aaron says, I've seen the signs my whole life. I saw spirits as a child. Yes, because when you're a child, the system and your parents and school and everything else has not closed your third eye. You are still very much a spirit. At that time, you really are spirit, having a human experience. You're starting to experience yourself. You're starting to experience what this body of yours can do. Because you're a spirit and you're in a new body now. And so you're figuring it out. And childhood is the purest, most beautiful time. But very quickly, why do you think they keep forcing kids into school earlier and earlier? To start the indoctrination and the twisting and the closing of the third eye. Why do you think they're giving kids fluoride when they go to the dentist to put fluoride? They lied to us and said, oh no, fluoride is important for the teeth. Because they know these kids going to swallow the fluoride and it's going to calcify that pineal gland. Guys, we've been living in HELL for real. Hell is what we're living. There's no place anywhere in the ethereal realm called hell. It's here. These things that they've done to us. And we didn't know any better. Imagine here in the West, when your child goes to the dentist, they will say, yes, we need to do a fluoride rinse. They know that kid's going to swallow because it's concentrated fluoride. Or they put the fluoride on the teeth and they'll say to the kids, don't eat anything for 30 minutes and don't swallow. Aibo. What kid is not going to swallow? They will swallow that stuff. It's fluoride. They were putting fluoride in the water to dumb everybody down, so that your third eye is calcified, can see, because there are things that they know that they don't want us to know. So now everybody is on the fluoride-free toothpaste bandwagon. My kids brush their teeth with coconut. They do teeth pulling. I didn't teach them that, by the way. They did their own research and found it out. So I'm telling you, the awakening is here, because even in young people, I have young adults. There's a lot that they're questioning now. They don't just take anything. They don't just take what they're given. My kids don't eat fast food anymore, because they are aware, and it's not even an awareness through research, but it's an awareness within them that this thing that they're calling a McDonald's burger, what is this? Just found out the other day that you can pour molten copper on it, and the thing will not burn. Now imagine your poor digestive system having to deal with that mess in there. So it is true. When you are younger, yeah, I mean, I can speak for myself. And when you don't know what's happening to you, and the adults around you aren't there to reassure you, it can be a very, very terrifying time. Gogo, can you please? Okay, I've done the universal spirits. I had a dream a few years ago with many women in white at a feast table. They were welcoming me. Yes, your Gogos. That's the matriarchs were welcoming you. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let's see. Any other questions? Chipo is here. Chipo, you're here. Chipo, if you missed the part about Upahla, it's going up. It's gonna go up. I know you've been asking about Upahla. Chipo, you and I will do the live on the divine feminine, divine masculine tomorrow. How's that for a deal? This was so spontaneous. I just had time and I was like, hey, you know what? Let me go live and talk to people. It's been a while. Can you pata about Gogo who you could never meet? Yeah. No, that's what ancestry is about. You only have the Gogos that you've met. If you limit yourself to those Gogos, you're in trouble, because some of those Gogos were Christian, and so they're not even in any space or place to be able to help you. When you patla, you want to patla your entire lineage, those of the light. On one side, your mother's side, you've got 2,000 plus ancestors. Say on your father's side, you've got another 2,000 plus ancestors. So if you're going to patla or Gogo, you're calling all of them. That's why I said you call all your ancestors, north, east, south, and west of the light. Meaning to say you're reaching far back as antiquity. Bring them to say, hey, it's your little girl over here. Do you see how powerful that is? You can't tell me when you patla all those elders and you honor them in that way, there's not a single one who's going to step forward and say, hey, let me help my little girl. So no. You're not partnering those you know. Like I said, sometimes second generation, say your grandmother, your great-grandmother, even sometimes your great-great-grandmother, they were colonized. So until you get to your partner, you need to partner beyond to those who had their rites and rituals done for them, who can come forward to assist you. These young ones, many of them are trapped, like I was telling you. And they're going to require, and I know because I speak from experience, I've had to do a lot of work to assist a lot of my ancestors, the younger ones, to cross over. I work with centuries old ancestors. Like when I say centuries, I'm talking 200, 300. They're who came forward. Okay? So yeah, you definitely can and should partner all your ancestors. Bring them all in. Oh, my ears are ringing. Somebody's trying to talk to me. Togozain, I may need to leave, guys, because the way my ears are ringing now, it's like somebody wants to have a conversation with me. Yes, so I've answered the Muti in the US. Oh, thank you. When connecting, I've become more paternal. I have more paternal ancestors come through. Yeah, it really all depends on their relationship up there. But for many of us who come from families that are broken, from families where things weren't done right, it is your maternal side that stands up as your protectors, as your providers, and they are very protective of their own kids. So I generally will, and as a general rule, I've said to people, you can't go wrong with starting on your mother's side, because sometimes your father's side does not make sure, right? Only the mother knows who the father of a child is. And so at the risk of calling a wrong name, if you're not sure, don't do it. Stick on that side. These ones on your father's side will eventually start to show themselves as well with time. But if you are not sure about your paternity, please, and it's so sad, but there are a lot of Indlovukazi, a lot of women who have lied to their children about their paternity. And this is what causes a lot of chaos in these children's lives. So that's why we need to go back to our ways of doing things, because when you are doing things, understanding the spiritual implications, you are less likely to make careless decisions about how you move in this physical realm. Ne? Okay. So guys, once again, thank you for gifting. I really appreciate that. As Gogo touched more on, I've done the universal spirits. I had a dream a few years ago. Yeah, I did that. Can I pass that? Yes, I did that. What can you use to steam? Lerato, where are you? Lerato, there are many things that you can use to steam. It depends what you're steaming for. If you're steaming just for a general cleanse, that's a tough one, because now it depends what you're steaming for. You can steam to remove what we call isichito or hexes. Generally, that's what I do. You know, people will say, I'm buying the pink luck to augment my aura and stuff. I'm like, how do you want to augment your aura when you haven't first cleansed to remove hexes, to remove bad energies, to remove the imprint of your previous lovers who you never cleansed off? Guys, you have to cleanse in spirituality all the time. You know, when you exit a relationship, you have to cleanse. You have to cleanse that person's energy and aura off of you. And then sometimes you have to do a cord cutting rituals. Many of you are surprised that you're going into relationships and you find that the person you're in relationship after you've exited is the same person, just in a different body. Why is that? Because like attracts like. So if you have this person's energy on your aura, you're going to attract someone that is like him, but in a different body. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's very important when you exit a relationship to cleanse. If you happen to have been in a relationship with somebody who was abusive, who was horrible to you, and you are in a lot of hurt, you also want to do a cord cutting ritual to make sure that there is no spiritual connection with that person anymore whatsoever. And then you cleanse and you heal so you can start afresh. But a lot of people, this is why it just gets from disaster to disaster. And sometimes even whatever you went through in one relationship seems to escalate in the next. You'll be like, oh, I was with a guy who was abusive. And then the next one was even worse. And then the third one was even worse. Well, that's because you're accumulating all these energies. And so you've got all this negativity concentrated on your aura of these people. So you attract very quickly someone who's also very high in that thing. So what seems to happen is with each relationship, things just get worse and worse and worse. You have to break that cycle by cleansing, do cord cutting ritual, and then bring your energy back to yourself so that you are you once again. Heal yourself and then move forward. Ne? So, Lerato, what can you use to steam? Off the top of my head, I can't say. DM me, Lerato, and I'll be able to see what comes. But like I said, it really depends what you're steaming for. You know, I have a general anti-hex, anti-scito. Like that's why I can't give you separate herbs, because what are you steaming for? I have created one that touches all that, so that you, when you're steaming or cleansing for the first time, you use that, get rid of everything. Just get rid of anything that doesn't belong to you. Then after that, we do the next one, which is that which cleanses you, cleanses your spirit guides, and also augments whatever gifts that you were born with. This is the one that I call the pink luck bath. And really, it's like we bath you, and then we take this one and we polish you, shine, 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 make you bright. And then that's it. You go about your way. Usually after a cleanse, I suggest that people use some form of protection, because that's another problem that people have, is you cleanse, you don't protect. The key is cleanse your space, cleanse your yard, cleanse you, protect. Protect you, protect the house, right? You have to do it that way. Otherwise, you're still going to be leaking energy, number one. Then you're still going to be open to being attacked. Because if I cleanse you, you're nice and squeaky clean, the next entity that passes by goes, oh, she's not there, and comes and sticks. We start all over. But if you're protecting yourself, then it's like you're putting an electric force field around your aura. Anything that is sent to try to hurt you, anything that it may be just an entity, because there are entities everywhere, they can't stick to you because of the protection that we've put, which repels them, or they try to stick and then they're bounced off of you, if you can use your imagination a bit. Yeah. Hotep, I don't know, is Juanem. I will not butcher your name, but Hotep, I see you. Guys, I think I've been here long enough and I'm about to leave. Parents were married and all rituals were observed, but father is not in my life. You can patter your ancestors. Who cares about your father? Like, I mean, seriously. If everything was done right and everything was done right by you two, patter your ancestors. Matter of fact, tell them to deal with him. Yeah, but this is who you should go to cry for his behavior. Is to your paternal ancestors. That's where you go and you sit at their feet and you sob to say, look what your son is doing to me. They do not approve of such behavior. Trust me, they don't. What happens with three-way parents? I don't understand what three-way parents are. What is a three-way parent, guys? What is a three-way parent? Can anyone explain to me what a three-way parent is? Deboho, what's a three-way parent? Yo, anyway, I'll see if you answer, but I don't understand what a three-way parents. Iningi, your African marriage doesn't cost. No, it doesn't. It can't cost. African marriage doesn't cost. That's why they get upset with you when you spend hundreds and thousands of dollars or rands on some fake that doesn't even unify you, and you leave them all out of it. Whereas if you were going to get married the African way, there's that token or lobola that's done, the bride price, and then all that's required really is a cow and some ritual done for you. You walk into the isbaya, it's a done deal, and you're married. And that is a solid marriage. Those are the marriages that last for a lifetime, because they have the foundation, a very firm foundation, an ancestral or spiritual foundation. And they want both paternal and maternal of both sides. They are invested in your doing well, because you are their legacy, and the offspring coming from you are their legacy. So they will protect you, they will guide. Usually in those kind of circumstances, this is where you see a great amount of abundance. The kids do well because there's that firm ancestral foundation. And as the parents say, even the father, you can go emsamo and pasha for your kids. The gogo of the home can pasha for the entire family. Yeah, people underestimate the power. And why Christianity? There's Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and what? What do you mean? And why Christian? What about Christian? Rosa Powell, I don't know who you are. This is live for Bagwantu. I don't know. If that doesn't resonate, then you're in the wrong place. So I don't know why you are here. Mlungu futhi yo nkosi yami ahamba wena Ro, whatever your name is. This is not a live for you. Bye. You do the cord cutting ritual. Yes, I do the cord cutting ritual. A healer has to do that, guys. You can, there's a lot of stuff that unfortunately you're not going to be able to do on your own. It's a particular way of doing these things. So yeah, I do as one of my specialties is cord cutting rituals. Where some people call it cutting soul ties. Some people call it cutting sexual ties, but it's really a cord cutting. A cord meaning any spiritual cord that connects you to another person. We need to snip that. All right, guys. Well, look, this is what I'm going to do. I need a free reading. I don't do free readings. I like really I get upset with people who ask free readings. Like, guys, that's a disrespect to my ancestors. Like, seriously. You guys get so much value from me and as it is. Just me coming here and teaching you, right? And then you want a consultation to be free. How be fair. Mara why ninjalo? Why are you guys like that? If you went to a doctor, would you go to a doctor and say, I'd like a free consultation? So why is it fair for you to do that to us? And you know, this is where there's a lot of mindset shifting that needs to do. You know, if you respect my practice and you respect my work, you will, and if you value yourself, you will invest in your own spiritual well-being. Why must it be free? You already get a lot of freebie. I mean, I could literally put all these teachings I do, formalize them and put them under subscription or put them under friends only, whatever it is, and then you'd have to pay. But not doing that, right? I'm self-initiate. I said, Gogo, I'm self-initiate, mainly here for you, spiritual guidance, specifically about universal spirits. I think Kevin and I have spoken about the universal spirits already. Yeah. And remember that learning about the universal spirits is one, but you also need to learn how to work with those energies, right? That's the second level of it, is learning to work with the universal energies. And some people are actually called to initiate in one or the other of these universal energies. But I can tell you there are not many of us who are doing these initiations because there are not many of us who are tapped in that deeply. A lot are tapped into just the ancestral, the bloodline ancestors. Some may be tapped into the bloodline ancestors and then the water deities, as you know them. But there are very few of us who are tapped into that higher realm, which really is the realm of all realms. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you in connecting. All right, guys. I think for today we've done well, right? I'm going to be back tomorrow because I owe my son over here a live to discuss the divine masculine, divine feminine. So him and I will be here together. I'm going to do another live tomorrow where I'm bringing you my Haitian daughter. I have many children. My Haitian daughter, who we are going to discuss and talk about Bagwandu in the diaspora who are ready to move to the continent. She has some seriously amazing information for you all. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I really can't specify a time. But the same way you showed up here, once you see that live button go, tomorrow there will be definitely 2 lives. I will probably come on with Abiba a little earlier. And with Chipo, Abiba is Haitian, and then with Chipo, who's in the UK, will come on probably around this time because I saw him here. He doesn't sleep. He's another one who doesn't sleep. But otherwise, Nyanibong, Amagwande Gune, you know, thank you for showing up. I really, really appreciate you. Keep growing. Ne? Keep growing, keep pushing yourself, keep learning. You know, knowledge unlocks your consciousness too. Just acquiring the knowledge of who you are. Read books. That's why I've got a whole reading list there. And for those of you who want free PDFs, if you click on my website, it's there in the bio. It'll take you to where I have 5 books, the first 5 books that I think are critical during your awakening phase. You can download those totally free and read. This journey is not about being spoon-fed. This is your journey. This is your work. So you have to be proactive in acquiring the knowledge that you need. You have to be proactive about doing the rituals that you need to do to get you where you need to get to. Keep journals. Start writing your dreams. Start writing occurrences and things. This is the time of divine inspiration. A lot of people are getting downloads without even being aware that they are being given gold. You will get ideas for business. You will get ideas for many, many things. But if you're not noting it, it'll come like a flash, and then you'll be like, oh my God, I could do this, this, this. And then you'll move on and you'll forget about it. The universe is ready to support the rebirth of Bagwandu. You just have to now avail yourself to the universe, avail yourself to spirit, to Lomoya, and see how your life is going to change. Yeah? So I love you guys so much. Take good care and see you tomorrow. Masithokozeni.